Hi, in this video I'm going to show secondary teachers how to add students to their classrooms. Now that you've got your class set up, you want students to be able to connect to it. To do that, you're going to go to the Manage Class button. When you select Manage Class, you're going to edit the roster. If you are teaching a class that has more than one section, for example, if you teach Algebra 1 and you teach it 3 periods, this is where you're going to do something that's called adding sections. So when I go to my Students tab, I'm going to click Create Sections. This is going to allow you to add all of your classes or sections to one class, so you only have to manage one page and not worry about managing 3 separate classes for 3 different sections. So I'm going to say, do you want to create sections? Okay. When I get to my sections, I'm going to add however many sections of that course that I teach. So if I teach Algebra 1 3 times, I'm going to add 3 sections. Okay. Okay, and now I've got one more section there. Okay, and added more than I needed, but that's okay. I'll just show you for section A. I'm going to go ahead and rename this as whatever period I have. So I'm going to say section period 1, just because we talk more in periods in Fort Wayne Community Schools. I can edit it again, period 2. So I would go through and rename all of my sections to be period 1, period 2. After I've got them renamed, I'm going to go to the Import Students button. I do not want to add students manually, because then if I have students that enter or leave my course, I'll have to go in and update it. By importing students, it will connect to my Pinnacle roster, and anytime I have a new student, it will change that for me. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to search my class and select Only List My Classes, and then Search. A list of all the classes that I teach in my Pinnacle gradebook are going to come up here. So you'll want to look at your code to find which code is the one for that period. And usually they end with 01, or you probably know in your Pinnacle gradebook how they look at the end to find the correct students. When I find the section that I want, I'm going to select Import, and then I'm going to link it. Do not select one-time import. We want it to be linked again for those updates. Select Continue. These are my 2 students in that course. I make sure those are my correct students for period 1 and click Import Students. Sorry about that. Now for my next section, I'm going to go back into Manage Sections, and I'm going to select my next section, so period 2, and I'm going to go back and do the same thing. Import Students, search Only My Classes, and then I'm going to look through, select the one that I want. I'm going to import that class, link that class for me. Then you can see it doesn't have any students, but all the students in that period would be listed there. I import my students, and then I repeat for all of the sections that I have listed in my class. Now, if you teach 2 separate classes, like Algebra 1, and then you teach a section of geometry, I would suggest creating a different manual class and then adding students that are just in geometry, because the resources you share for algebra will not be the same resources that you share for geometry. Okay, once you have your class ready and your students added, you're going to click Manage Class, and you're going to scroll down, and you're going to select Make Active. If you do not make your class active, then students will not be able to see any of the content that you have on your page. So make sure you make your class active after you have added your students. And then remember, any pages that do not have the orange dial by them will not be visible to students. And you can make them visible just by clicking that orange button and publishing or unpublishing from there.